Okay, fans, welcome to Hawks Media Productions broadcast of today's NCISAA Division I Girls Lacrosse Championship. I am Joe Teets, here with Latin alumni Mr. Peyton Youst. Again, the Hawks are coming in as they defeated St. Mary's School 20-5 on Monday to advance. The Buccaneers from Charlotte Country Day, they won at two-seeded Providence Day 18-13 on Tuesday. And the Hawks here, Nikki Williams will be going for her fifth straight championship in 12 seasons here as the coach. And Peyton, as we begin starting about Charlotte Latin, what can you say about this offense?
This is a team that is stacked both offensively and defensively. When you look at the offensive end in the attack, Evie McMahon with 55 goals, as well as Arden Henry with 47, Reese Morgan with 44, and four more players who have scored at least 15 goals this season. They're also anchored on the defensive end by Rollins College commit in goal, senior Ellie Collier, as well as seniors Natalie Massardo, Neely Hume, as well as juniors Nora White and Kate Livingston.
Yeah, and you talked about Ellie as that college commit. They have four college commits here on this team. Evie McMahon going to UVA to be a Cavalier. Arden Henry traveling across to the country to Cal Berkeley. And Natalie Massardo on the defensive side going to Furman. We're going to split things here a little bit, and we're going to announce some starting lineups here in a minute. Okay, fans, welcome to the 2024 NCISAA Girls Lacrosse State Championship. Today's championship features the three-seeded Buccaneers of Charlotte Country Day School and the one-seeded Charlotte Latin Hawks. The NCIAA would like to thank Charlotte Latin for being today's host. And before we announce the starting lineups for today's game, we ask you please rise as we honor America and those who serve to protect our freedom with the singing and playing of our national anthem. Now let's meet the starting lineups for today's game. First, for the Buccaneers. She's a junior midfielder, number 1, Grayson Ann McCurdy. Senior midfielder, number 3, Wynn McDade. Senior attack, number 4, Margaret Schiller. Junior attack, number 5, Sutton Wilson. Senior defender, number 7, Zoe Timberman. Senior midfielder, number 8, Molly Burbank. Senior defender, number 9, Olivia Pack. Freshman midfielder, number 12, Katie White. Junior attack, number 15, Ella Stein. Senior defender, number 18, Caroline Beasley. Sophomore defender, number 21, Evelyn Turner. And in goal today for the Buccaneers, senior goaltender, number 30, Grace Mahaffey. The Buccaneers are led by head coach Christy Boyles. Assistant coaches are Ed Burnham, Carter Wilson, and Riley Van Reffler. And for your Charlotte Latin Hawks, she's a senior attack, number 3, Evie McMahon. Senior midfielder, number 8, Arden Henry. Junior midfielder, number 10, Reese Morgan. Junior midfielder, number 11, Allison Archibald. Junior attack, number 12, Riley Milligan. Senior attack, number 14, Lydia McNichol. Senior attack, number 15, Addie Barlow. Senior defender, number 16, Neely Hughes. Junior defender, number 18, Nora White. Junior defender, number 21, Kate Livingston. Senior defender, number 26, Natalie Masardo. And in goal for your Hawks, senior goaltender, number 33, Ellie Collier. The Hawks are led by head coach Nikki Williams, Patty Hunter, and Bridget Alberts. Fans, the NCISAA recognizes that athletic events must be conducted in a manner that good sportsmanship prevails at all times. Coaches, athletes, and spectators should be individually and collectively responsible for the respectful behavior to each other and to officials. Every effort must be made to promote a climate of wholesome competition. Okay, fans, that is the starting lineups for today's game as we are going to get ready for a fun one. Peyton, I don't know about you. I am nervous and excited for this lacrosse championship.
Yeah, when you look at these two teams, Hawks obviously going 2-0 against the Buccaneers so far this season, but those margins of victories coming by 3 goals and 5 goals respectively. So they have definitely not been blowout games. These have been very close, hard-fought games, and I'm expecting the exact same type of outing in this one.
Yeah, absolutely, and everything's going to start with the draw control. For your Hawks, you're going to see Arden Henry in there, and then for the Buccaneers, it looks like number 12, freshman Katie Blythe.
That's a fairly large grade difference you're seeing there. A freshman going up against a senior in the championship game. It's It's going to be interesting to see how she handles this one as a freshman, going up against a 5'9" senior college commit, Arden Henry.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things get started here. Again, fans, we want to thank you for tuning in. I am Joe Teets here with Peyton Yells. And that win is going to be there by Reese Morgan, as Reese is going to get it up ahead to Evie. Evie McMahon, she fights off a few sticks, and she's going to try to go in, but that will be a turnover there by number 7, Zoe Timberman.
And that's a great start there for the Buccaneers, not allowing the Hawks to get a shot on goal, immediately taking it away on the defensive end and getting it right into their attack.
Yeah, this is going to be Wynn McDade now, who's going to have first possession here. As she gets it around, they throw it up top to Blythe. Katie Blythe now is going to slide this over. That's number 8, Molly Burbank. So Burbank here. She tries to go in, and that does hit the back of the net as number 8, Molly Burbank, gets the first goal for the Buccaneers.
And they did a great job on the defensive end, just as well, if not better, on the offensive end, on the attack, finding the back of the net and putting themselves up with an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that one went far post. So another draw control. This is going to bounce towards the restriction line, and they are going to say offsides over that line. And Kate Livingston's going to be able to pick it up and immediately outlets it over to Evie. Evie now over to Massardo. Natalie Massardo, the Furman commit, she's going to go up and get it to Addie Barlow. Barlow now here with it, as she's going to slow things down over to McMahon. Evie now over to Riley. Riley mishandles it, but she's able to pick it up off the turf. Riley traditionally quarterbacking this offense from behind the net. Over to McNichols and now to McMahon. Hawks here. It's going to be a tensious one here, Peyton, as every possession is going to be that much more important this entire game.
You're going to have to make sure every time they get the ball, they capitalize and they get themselves a good look on goal.
Yeah, Allison Archibald draws the foul, so she will have the first free position shot as she's going to take this one just to a staggered left of Grace Mahaffey. And she shoots and hits the back of the net. Allison Archibald able to take that free position shot and getting the Hawks first here with their goal. Great job there.
Archibald gets goal number 16, but most importantly, the Hawks get goal number 1 in this game as they tie this one up at 1-1 with 9:52 left in the first.
Yeah, that's a big one there, as I have a feeling here, Peyton, we're not going to see any big leads. It's going to be a ton of back and forth, just like you saw here in those first 2 minutes of play.
Exactly. I can't imagine this game going up 3-4 goal difference at any point in this game. I expect it to be a 1-2 goal difference throughout the entirety of this one.
Yeah, and that has already proved it's exciting. I'm not wearing my Apple Watch. I think it might be buzzing right now if I had, with the heart rate going up. But fans, you're going to be in for a treat here this afternoon in the NCISAA Championship. That is going to be a foul called on McMahon as she tried to get the loose ball off the turf. McNichols tips the pass, but it does stay here with the Buccaneers. It is thrown around, and that is going to be picked up there by Burbank. Molly Burbank having a host of Hawks now as she's able to get around 3 of them and into some open space.
That's just a great job there. She was triple teamed along the right sideline is somehow able to spin out of it.
Yeah, she towed that line, though, and Allison Archibald was able to cut her off. And it's a couple stick fouls there are going to be called on the Buccaneers. And it's tension, we know. It's going to be, a tough matchup, offensive, defensively, any loose balls. It's going to be a fun win here. So McMahon's going to slow things down as she works the top of the zone on the right side. Just under 9 minutes to play here. And over to Barlow. Addie now with it. She's going to try. She's just going to flip it over to Arden. Arden Henry has a little bit of space, and she dives to the left. And a save made there by Mahaffey. But Allison Archibald is able to get the rebound. And she's going to try to dive to our left, but Stuttle steps back to the right.
That's just a case of being in the right place at the right time. You saw that one bounce off of Mahaffey's stick and end up right with Allison Archibald.
Reese Morgan now with it, tries to get one in feet in front. Allison Archibald again was able to pick that one up. Two players for the Buccaneers ran into each other, as that was number 18 and number 8. Caroline Beasley, senior captain on the defense, took a hit from friendly fire from one of the other Buccaneers. I believe that was Burbank who might have ran into her. So Archibald now with it, slides this over to McMahon. Evie now. Evie's going to try to dive to her right. Has a double team, so she's just going to step back out, looking for space. With that double team, she's looking for the open player, and it is McNichols. McNichols tries to take a shot, but it will stay in possession here of the Hawks. So McNichols now, or actually Reese Morgan, is going to get this off over to Barlow and underneath the Milligan. Riley back over. That's Evie. Evie fakes, goes around the crease, tries to get around a few, and she shoots and scores. Evie McMahon able to get the goal. Actually, correction, no goal. No goal, as there's a crease violation. So they're going to call a crease violation there on Evie on that attempt, and that's going to quickly turn over to the Buccaneers.
And that one, an unfortunate blow there for the Hawks. They had that ball for about 90 seconds there in the Buccaneers' end, unable to come up with a goal, though.
Yeah, but the quick transition turns into a save by Ellie Collier. She has over 400 in her career here for the Hawks, and she makes that first one. Now with 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And the Hawks are going to slowly work this now around the perimeter. A lot of fans here. I see a bunch of green on our left, Peyton, and a ton of white on our right. It is a fantastic atmosphere here on Charlotte Latin's campus for this championship.
Everybody's showing out for this one as the Hawks attempting to go for their 5th straight state championship.
That is going to be a steal there by Grayson Ann McCurdy, but that outlet pass goes deep. It's going to roll all the way down where Ellie Collier is going to be able to pick it up off a bounce, and she's going to quickly outlet it up to Henry. So that might have been one where maybe the Buccaneers would have wanted to try to take advantage of that turnover and slow things down. They tried to outlet it across basically half the field and just couldn't connect on the pass. And that's going to give the opportunity here for the Hawks. McNichols now, she's going to try to battle for this one. And that out of bounds will go to the Buccaneers. And again, you're going to see a lot of things there as Addie Barlow is able to pick that one up off the turf. She gets it to Arden. Arden's going to try to dive to her left. She bangs it right off the post, but Reese Morgan's able to pick up the rebound. She's going to try to go in the zone. She can't get it, and it is now going to be picked up by number 12. That's Katie Blythe, and Blythe is going to go the length of the field to set things up here for the offense. Quick transition here. Flag is up, and that will be a shooting space foul. So Sutton Wilson, number 5, is going to have this free position shot. This will be to the right of Ellie Collier. As Sutton tries to go in, and she hits the back of the net. As number 5, Sutton Wilson, gets on the board here for Charlotte Country Day.
And you're seeing just this continuous back and forth action. Starts at 0-0, goes to 1-0, then 1-1, now 2-1. Just so much back and forth action this championship game. You're seeing the heart and the hustle from both sides.
Well, and you see that heart and hustle that is happening both in the stands, on the field. The one thing that you want to make sure is that you don't try to get too anxious. Settle in, play your type of game. Don't feel this piece that you have to go 100 miles an hour the whole time, because it is going to be a long 4 quarters of lacrosse on this campus.
And you can see that's what the Buccaneers are trying to force the Hawks into. They're doing a lot of this up-tempo, just full sprint down the field. And the Hawks know that they don't have to play that type of game. They can play their game, and they can slow it down and play the lacrosse that they like to play.
So a first start will be called there on Arden. And that will turn over here now. The Buccaneers are going to be able to take possession here. Grayson Ann McCurdy, she had 9 goals in the semifinals against Providence Day. 3 goals each game, or even 4 against us in the regular season. And that will be one player that I know the Hawks defense is going to want to shut down.
And you know full well they were focusing a lot on her both in film and in practice this upcoming week.
Neely Humes able to get that one knocked loose. It's on the turf, and it's picked up. And it is going to be a save made there by Ellie, but the rebound is going to stay here with the Buccaneers as Wilson now has it. She tries to throw a pass, but it doesn't go over the restriction line. So Molly Burbank is able to pick it up with ease and set things up here now for the Buccaneers. They're going to work here. And a pass in front. That can't be completed, but it is going to be picked up by Blythe also. Over to Burbank. Burbank now with it. She's got Masardo on her. We talk about Grayson Ann McCurdy. Reese Morgan is in her side pocket the entire time, not letting her get anywhere. That pass is going to be tipped by Kate Livingston, and it just trickles out of bounds, so it will stay here because of that tip. So the Buccaneers now have it from behind. They're going to try to dive around the right side, and number 15 hits the back of the net. That is Ella Stein as the Hawks now go up 3-1.
Just a fantastic job from Stein coming along that left side of the goal and then coming back to the top. And just as the Hawks defender is starting to close out, she just lets one rip and finds the back of the net, able to sneak it past Collier, and that puts the Bucks up 3-1 with 2:55 left in the first.
Absolutely. And that PA announcer you hear is Flo Roper, our sophomore Hawks Media Production PA announcer, and does all the fantastic camera work that you are seeing here. So thank you to Flo. Again, fans, I am Joe Teets, here with Peyton Yaus. Peyton, absolutely ecstatic. You came and did the soccer game here last week, and having you here in the booth with me today is just a thrill for myself. So Grayson Ann McCurdy now, she's going to get that one. She's going to go down, but that's a deep shot to try to take. Makes an easy save for Ellie Collier.
And you can see she was definitely trying to aim high on that one. Collier having to go way up in the air, and that one almost goes over the net.
Well, Arden Henry now takes it, but a stick check from behind is by McCurdy. Ellie Collier, though, is able to pick it up, and she's going to take a few pushes. And McMahon's able to split the defenders there and get set up here for the offense over to Barlow. Addie now has it on the left side, and she's going to dump it back to Riley. Riley Milligan over here to McMahon. And that is going to be a stick check there. You know, Peyton, it's interesting. When you and I did the soccer game, we had a lot of time to kind of talk about a number of things. It's not like this in this lacrosse game. It is full go back and forth this whole entire time.
Yeah, very rare that we have a stoppage in this game, as you've obviously seen so far. But there's a goal from Evie McMahon, and that puts the Hawks within reach as they cut the Bucks deficit to 1.
Yeah, great goal there for Evie. 56 on the season, 254 now here with her career.
Hawks goal, number 3, Evie McMahon.
So great goal there by Evie as she's able to come in and hit the back of the net. Little change up here now in the draw control circle. Reese Morgan now going in, and also checking in now is number 4, Margaret Schiller. She's coming in for number 2, Audrey Neal. And I have a feeling here, Peyton, with as much energy and back and forth, it is also going to be how do those substitutes come in and factor in.
And we're going to see the depth here from each side, obviously with the Buccaneers just making a substitution. We know the Hawks are deep as well. They have a lot of underclassmen that can provide valuable minutes, especially here in this state championship game.
And McMahon's able to pick that one up off the turf. She's going to slide it over to Reese. Reese Morgan now here with it. As Reese gets a little open space over to Riley. Riley takes a snapshot as Riley Milligan hits the back of the net, and we are tied up here at 3. And a great goal there by number 12, Riley Milligan.
And that's just a fantastic job with the field awareness from Reese Morgan, realizing that Riley Milligan is wide open, and right when she gets it to her, she knows she's got all the space in the world and just lets one rip and ties this game up at 3 apiece.
Yeah, and a quick transition there. Reese Morgan in the draw control. Evie McMahon was able to pick that up off the turf. Quickly back over to Reese. She found Riley, and Riley did not waste any time to snipe that one into the back of the net. So here back to the draw control. Again, it's Blythe and Reese. That's going to be down, and Arden Henry is able to come up and pick up that one as they now go into the zone. And Evie McMahon hits the back of the net again for her second goal, and your Hawks now jump up to their first lead of the game, 4-3.
And back-to-back goals there from the Hawks. They found themselves down 3-1, and now with 3 quick goals, they find themselves back in front with a 4-3 lead.
Yeah, and this is one thing we saw in the semifinals with Charlotte Country Day and Providence Day. Charlotte Country Day just came out to an early lead at the beginning of the game, and Providence Day was just never able to call back and get it. I'm sure that's one thing Coach Williams talked to her girls about is, look, even if Providence Day comes out to a lead, don't give up. Keep playing our game, and we will come out better with the result. And that's what we saw here in the end of the first half, is they had an opportunity where the Buccaneers going up by 2, but the Hawks just kept staying with their strategy and now have a 4-3 lead with 1:03 remaining here in this first quarter.
And this is a game where you have to keep your foot on the gas for the entirety of the game. If you have a 2 or 3 goal lead, you cannot be comfortable with that. You have to continue to press and continue to play as hard lacrosse as you can.
Yeah, we've seen here with both teams that as Riley Milligan was able to get that one off the turf. There's a lot of hitting there for those ground balls. Arden Henry in front to Evie. Evie's going to try to turn and backhand, but Mahaffey is going to be closest to it, and that will go over to the Buccaneers. Again, we know this was going to be a tough matchup, and we've already seen it here in the first quarter where these players, they're going to give 100% the whole entire time. Mahaffey now has it. She's being pressured, though, by Barlow. 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Addie Barlow able to get it off her stick. Try to throw one in front to Arden. Arden immediately tried to grab it and throw it in, but I don't think that is going to be. So at the end of one, Hawks leading 4-3.
And I don't think Arden Henry really realizing how much time she actually did have. She definitely had a couple more seconds than she thought. The second that ball ended up in her stick, she immediately shot it, and that one just maybe a little bit too forced as the score stays at 4-3 in favor of the Hawks.
The NCISAA is proud to celebrate its 50th anniversary throughout the 2023-24 school year. Let's try it. NCISAA is proud to celebrate its 50th anniversary throughout the 2023-24 school year. We thank the thousands of students, coaches, administrators, and supporters that have helped make the NCISAA what it is today for continuing to support the association's commitment to integrity, sportsmanship, and fair play. Special thank you to our partner, Southland Dairy, for providing a commemorative 50th anniversary bag tag to all student athletes and coaches participating in state championships this year. With Dairy Alliance, not all proteins are created equal. Real dairy milk contains complete, high-quality protein to power performance. Build and repair muscle after your workout with a real dairy milk. Dairy Alliance is a proud partner of the NCISAA. So, Peyton, that gives us now an opportunity to really kind of just catch our breath. With that exciting first quarter of action. I mean, 4-3. We knew this was going to be high scoring. There's a ton of players on both teams that are not strangers to hitting the back of the net, and that automatically proved here with 3 different goal scorers on each side.
Yeah, you saw Evie McMahon obviously get 2 in that first quarter, as well as Allison Archibald. She struck first for the Hawks, so she has 1 goal, as well as Riley Milligan with another. And the Hawks with a 4-3 lead as we are set to begin the second quarter of action.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. So now they're going to switch sides. Hawks are going to now move to the right side of your screen. And the Buccaneers are going to try to score on the left. And like I said, it is going to be an exciting one here for 3 more quarters of action here in this. And this is also one of 2 state championship matches here for you Hawks fans. Our girls lacrosse team obviously hosting the Buccaneers here at 11. Travel up Providence Road, and Providence Day will be hosting our girls soccer team as our girls soccer team tries to defend their title at 2 o'clock. And I know that's going to be another fun one to watch this afternoon.
The Hawks obviously lost both of their regular season matches to the Chargers of Providence Day, but they got a chance to turn that around and go and defend their state championship title.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. That matchup here on campus was a 1-0 loss of Providence Day, but it's probably one of the best soccer games I've seen here in girls soccer. So now the Hawks now are able to change it up. Caroline Ice now here in the offensive zone. She's going to be another hard goal scorer for the Hawks. Gets it over to Arden. Arden now is going to grab it and slow things down and drop it back out to Morgan. Reese Morgan now over to Archibald. Allison, one of the goal scorers here for the Hawks, as she looks at the play call on her stick. And they're going to now set things up here.
Now a chance for the Hawks to play their type of game. They can slow it down and set up whatever play they want to.
Yeah, all 7 players here on the offense, you say, as double-digit goal scorers all year, and it really makes it tough for the Buccaneers defense. You can't key on one because the other 6 will beat you. Evie McMahon now here over to Riley. Riley's going to come from around the net and step back out. Try to look for Evie in front. Evie's going to have to find some room, but she can't, and she just now steps back out on the perimeter. Back over to Riley. Riley has Zoe Timmerman now with her. Ball is down. Ice, though, is able to pick it up off the bounce, so a great there chance for the Buccaneers to get a turnover, but Caroline Ice in the right spot and being able to get that ground ball. Lydia McNichols is able to pick up that rebound from Henry. Back out to Evie. Evie now is going to slow things down. She's one-on-one with McCurdy. Does find Riley, and Riley Milligan hitting the back of the net. What a great play. Riley cutting in, and Evie able to find her stick. Riley Milligan getting her 2nd goal of the game.
And you talked about how the Hawks, every one of those 7 players is able to score. They can also pass, and they can also get their teammates involved and get assists as well. And they're showing that off right there. They had the key in on Evie McMahon. They didn't know whether she was going to shoot it or whether she was going to pass it. She elects to pass it this time and find Riley Milligan, who finds the back of the net, and that puts the Hawks up 5-3.
Yeah, we talk about Evie McMahon. Yeah, she had 55 goals in this regular season, but also 19 assists. And that's exactly why, because as soon as a defender tries to key over on her, she's going to find that open player. And all of a sudden now, you have a dominant type of scorer that can be able to hit the back of the net. Grayson and McCurdy now is picking that one up. McCurdy now with it. McMahon tried to get a stick check on that one, but that will be over the restriction line, so we will slow things down. Actually, we're going to ask to stop the clock. I'm not sure why the stoppage, but maybe some of these officials, they also get sometimes a little confused between the college clock rule and the high school clock rule, but we're going to reset here now, and we are good to go with the Buccaneers out on the perimeter. That's Blythe now over to Neal. Neal now has it at the top, and she's going to look for a little bit of space. Audrey now is going to try to dive to her right. She takes a shot, and that hits the back of the net as number 2, Audrey Neal, gets her first goal of the game.
That's a great response from the Buccaneers. If you remember, they were up 3-1, but allowed 4 straight goals from the Hawks, but now getting right back into this one as they cut the Hawks lead to 1 with 9:37 left in the second.
Yeah, that one definitely something the Buccaneers needed, as you know the Hawks were really trying to extend things and kind of maybe slow things down a little bit and get the Buccaneers back into this. As we reset the clock here, 9:37 on your scoreboard. 5-4 here in favor. Again, fans, we're thanking you for tuning in to today's broadcast. I am Joe Teets here with Latin alumni Peyton Youst and Flo Roper on the camera. Reese Morgan able to pick that up. Reese is going to drop it back over to Allison. Allison Archibald now with time and space, and she's just going to send it back over to Ellie. Ellie immediately tries to outlet that to Natalie Massardo. That was a tight window there, Peyton, for her to get that into. She's
very fortunate that one did not get taken away by the Buccaneers, and a great job from Massardo to take that one and immediately sprint up the field.
Yeah, that was number 4, Margaret Schuler, on the defense there for the Buccaneers. Milligan now with it. She takes a stick to the face. No call there, though. She wipes it off and keeps on going. McMahon with it. Evie from behind the net. She's got Blythe on her. Evie now in front to Arden, and Arden Henry hits the back of the net as the UCal Berkeley commit takes your Hawks up 6-4. Again, that was number 8, Arden Henry.
And Henry showcasing her height on that one. She catches the pass up top, so the goalie immediately thinks she's going to go up top, but then decides to go low and fits that one underneath and puts the Hawks up by 2 as they lead 6-4.
Yeah, that was a big goal there. Arden Henry, she really uses her height to her advantage, not only here in the draw control circle that you see, but there in the crease. When she's able to get that stick up that high and come down with that much force, it makes it hard for defenders to try to cut off any windows that are possible. So again now, Arden Henry back in the draw control circle. She's got Reese to her left, Evie to her right. And Evie picks that one up. Evie's going to be able to get a little space, gets it up ahead to Allison. Allison now with it. She's going to get a big pass up to Reese, and Reese Morgan now gets into the zone. Slows things down here, making sure no defenders coming from behind for the stick check, and gets it back over to Allison. Allison Archibald with it here. Over to Riley. Again, you see a great atmosphere here this afternoon. Fans all the way around trying to cheer on these Hawks and Buccaneers, as I'm sure you are here from home. Caroline Ice now with it. Ice slides this over to Barlow. Addie back behind to Evie. Evie got McDade on her. And she stutter steps, works back around to the crease. Double team coming on her. Pass across to Allison. Again, the Hawks here. Over to Riley. Riley takes a shot, but a shooting space foul will be called there on the Buccaneers. That's going to be given to number 9, Olivia Patt. So Riley Milligan will have a free position shot. This will be just to the left of Mahaffey.
Now a chance for Riley Milligan to get a hat trick in this one. She's got 2 already as she looks for her 3rd.
And that's one thing you see here, Peyton, is when you have an offense that can move the ball this much to so many people, as soon as you try to double team inside that critical space, it does leave you exposed to some shooting space fouls. So now Reese Morgan here over to Ice. Ice now with it to Barlow. And Barlow over to Evie. Evie's going to try to juke back and forth. She gets around 1, and a foul will be called on the cross check. That will be given to number 1, Evelyn Turner. So we're going to set up here as Evie's going to go from behind the net to the right of Mahaffey. And Turner will have to start 5 yards behind. Evie feeds one in front. That can't be completed. So a loose ball push will be called on number 18, Beasley. And that will give a free position shot, I believe. Actually, I'm sorry, it's going to be about at the 18-meter mark. It will be. So it will be at the outside arc. This will be an indirect, I believe. Oh, that's correction. Sorry. She's going to have a free position right in front of Mahaffey. Knowing Reese, she's going to want to snap this, but that is a save there. That outlet pass. Up to Blythe, and Blythe was looking there for McDade. Ice is trying to grab it as Caroline is able to pick it up off the turf. Nice screen there by Archibald to get a little space, and you got Evie McMahon. Oh, and just gets tipped as she got the shot. That was a nice save there by Evelyn Turner as McMahon was one-on-one with the goalie, and Turner was just able to get a stick there to deflect that one off.
That was great awareness from Addie Barlow there along that right side. She saw that McMahon had beat out every single one of her defenders, and she knew it was going to be a one-on-one versus the goalie. Unfortunate, though, that McMahon can't connect on that opportunity.
Yeah, and Addie Barlow just indirectly, too, made sure that defender stayed with her, and that continued to give some space. Reese now with it, and that is going to be a goal as Reese Morgan gets her first goal of the game. And now that is 5 players that have hit the back of the net.
Evie McMahon with 2, Riley Milligan with 2 as well. Now Reese Morgan joining the scoring party with 1, just like Arden Henry and Allison Archibald each with 1 as well. And that puts the Hawks up 7-4 with 5:09 left in the second quarter.
It wasn't unassisted, but I just don't know. I can tell you about 40 seconds. The NCISAA would like to thank the following corporate partners for their support this year: the Dairy Alliance, Tactus, Varsity Brands, NC Farm Bureau, Field Turf, Ben & Sports Surfaces, Sornex, Huddle, GoFan, Floor Action, Northwest Designs, Musco Lighting, and Ortho Carolina, the better choice. Ortho Carolina is proud to serve as the official orthopedic care practitioner of the NCISAA. Ortho Carolina is committed to empowering those who have been impacted by injuries in partnership with the HURT, that's H-U-R-T, mobile app. Ortho Carolina provides free on-the-go real-time access to orthopedic specialists 365 days a year. Prepare yourself now for those unexpected moments by downloading the HURT app, that's H-U-R-T. Ortho Carolina, committed to being the better choice. So as we set up here, 5:09 after that timeout called. Like I said, Peyton, that also gives us a chance to catch our breath.
I think we're trying to catch our breath just as much as the players on the field are.
So Arden Henry again, Katie Blythe back in the draw control circle. And we're going to reset here. Again, both players know how important these draw controls are. Want to make sure they're in the best position possible. And that is going to bounce around. Arden Henry scoops it into open space where she's going to be able to come up and grab that ground ball and keep possession of it. And that will be a stick foul there called on the Buccaneers. So it will be a free start here. Great job there by Arden when she knew she couldn't scoop it in space, just to kind of scoop it over into open real estate and give her a foot race to be able to pick it up.
Now the Hawks with another opportunity on the attack, a chance for them to double their lead to 8-4 with 4:25 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, Caroline Ice now with it over here to Morgan. Reese Morgan slides this over to Allison. Allison going to get this over to Riley. And Riley back behind to Evie. Evie now here with it. Try to look for Allison cutting in. That pass, though, is on the turf. It is picked up there by Evelyn Turner. Turner immediately gets it up ahead to Ella Stein. Stein now with it. Got both Archibald and Livingston trailing her. And Stein's going to slide this over behind the net. That's the number 4, Margaret Schuer. Schuer tries to get a pass over, but that can't be completed. But Katie Blythe is there to be able to pick it up. Blythe is going to slow it down and get it over to Neal. Neal drops it back behind over to Schuler. And Margaret's going to slow things down and over to Stein. Stein now works with Sutton Wilson, one of the goal scorers for the Buccaneers, and back up top to Katie. Katie now with it over to McDade. Wynn McDade, the senior, going to slide this back over to Katie. Just over 3 minutes to play here in this first half. Ella Stein now with it. Archibald on her. Don't let her getting any space. A pass in, and that is a goal by number 5, Sutton Wilson, as Sutton gets her second goal of the game.
Now the Bucks slowly starting to cut back into the Hawks lead. Hawks were on a 6-1 run there. The Buccaneers now cutting the Hawks lead to just 2 with 3:03 left in the second.
We knew it was going to be a tight one here, so 2-goal advantage. Now Reese Morgan will go back in against Blythe.
Seeing the Hawks obviously switch between Arden Henry and Reese Morgan in that draw control circle, trying to see which one will give them the best advantage to win the draw control circle.
And they're both very strong in that draw control. It may also, too, be throwing things off for Blythe because it makes Blythe have her stick on opposite sides depending on who she's going against. So Arden Henry now does get that one, though. That foul was called on Blythe on the draw control. So we will have some space here with the Hawks on the offensive set. Barlow now with it. As Addie's going to start from behind the net. She has some opening, and she works around and just drops it back over to Arden. Arden dives to her left, gets around one defender, tries to keep it on her stick, but that is knocked loose by the Buccaneers. And Grayson Ann McCurdy is going to go with time and space as she takes it herself. Caroline Ice trying to trail behind her. Over to Wilson. Excuse me, that's number 4, Schuer. And Margaret Schuer drops it back behind.
You saw Ice just about a half step behind her. I think if she had about a second or two more, she definitely would have been able to strip that one from her.
Yeah, I agree. Schuer now with it. Margaret now is going to work to the top of the zone, and that will be offsides called. So the clock will stop at 1:54. And we're going to restart here now. As now Molly Burbank. And Katie Blythe over to Wynn McDade. McDade here now with it. And that's going to be a foul called. Stop the clock at 1:12. .60 remaining here. Grayson now with it, and that hits the back of the net with 51 seconds. Grayson and McCurdy gets on the board. Number 1 for the Buccaneers.
That's one of the best shots you're going to see right there. She hits that one as she's falling away, falling to the turf, just somehow able to get it off and gets it to find the back of the net, and that cuts the Hawks' lead to just 1 with 51.9 here.
I was going off them, that way we can yell at them and not us. Okay, 51 seconds remaining here. And there was a penalty called on Reese Morgan on that shot. So we will have a free start here for the Buccaneers, and that could be crucial here in the last 40 seconds of this first half.
They found themselves down 7-4 just moments ago, and now a chance for them to tie this one up.
And a nice save made there by Ellie Collier to shut down that shot. Rebound does go to the Buccaneers, though, and it will. And that goal by number 8, Molly Burbank, with 14 seconds, ties things up here, 7-7.
And how about this response from the Buccaneers? Just moments ago, it was 7-4 in favor of the Hawks, and the Hawks had the ball on the attack, and now all of a sudden the Bucks with 3 straight goals to tie this one up at 7 apiece.
And that one's going to be McMahon. McMahon does have 10 seconds. She's going to try to be able to work towards the net. 6, 5, 4 in front. And Mahaffey is going to be able to make that save. And that will be the half with the Hawks and the Buccaneers tied up here at 7.
This game started even at 0-0, and now it ends at 7-7, even as well, to end this first half.
Yeah, and that was a battle of runs here that we had for both teams, as the Hawks were able to try to extend their lead out, and then the Buccaneers responded. So, fans, stay tuned. You're not going to lose anything with audio. We are going to mute here in the booth for a few minutes, but we will be back here for the second half. Okay, fans, we are now back here for the third quarter. A very exciting first half we saw there. I am Joe Teets with Hawks Media Production, here with Charlotte Latin alumni Peyton Yells. Peyton, we take a breath. Explain here that first half.
Yeah, what it was a first half based on runs. You obviously saw that the Buccaneers jumped up to a quick 3-1 lead, and then the Hawks responded, going up 7-4. They went up 3, and then Buccaneers responded with 3 late goals in that second quarter to tie it up at 7 apiece to end the first. And we're just about to begin this second half of action. 7-7 our score. We're going to start this second half the same way we started the first half. Both teams even. And we're going to have Arden Henry in the draw control circle for the Hawks, as they've been alternating between both Henry and Reese Morgan, electing to go with the Cal Berkeley commit in that face-off position.
Yeah, and for the Buccaneers now, it's a new one, as Grayson Ann McCurdy was in there. Katie Blythe was on the wing, and she was able to get that ground ball. So now the Buccaneers are going to start off here with the first possession of the second half. That is Margaret Schuler. Schuler tried to pass that, and that's going to be a tough turnover for the Buccaneers on that pass, and will give Hawks possession. So we're going to stop the clock here. As I believe the Buccaneers may have one too many. Nope. We're going to restart. So Ellie Collier now with it. Again, she has over 400 saves here now as a Charlotte Latin Hawk. So congrats to Ellie, as she now is going to take it and get back and forth with Evie. There's no stall, no clock here. They can stay back there on the defensive side as long as they need to be able to be patient here. So Evie now with it, drops it back to Kate. Kate is going to switch the pitch over to Allison. Allison now here with it. She has a double team coming up on her, but the three-star sport athlete is just going to work right up the middle of the field as Allison gets into open space. Again, a number of these players are three-star athletes. Allison, volleyball, basketball here in lacrosse. And it was nothing for her to get around that double team and to be able to set things up here. Riley Milligan now with it. Way up top to Reese. And over to Arden. Arden's going to try to dive to her right, gets a double team, so back over to Lydia. And she goes down, so that will be a foul call as McNichols goes down to the turf.
McNichols, the leading assist leader on this Hawks team. Now a chance for her to score and find the back of the net off of this free position shot.
She steps back, just gets it over to Evie. Evie now here with it. McMahon's going to try to stutter step back to her left, goes to her right, passes one across the crease, but that is another save by Mahaffey. Barlow tries to shoot it, and right into the stick of Grace Mahaffey there. And Barlow's able to pick up that ground ball. Natalie Massardo was able to get the deflection. And McNichols up to Milligan. Milligan over to Barlow, and that's another save there by Mahaffey. But Milligan, some really tough plays there. Grace Mahaffey, the senior goaltender, doing a phenomenal job for the Buccaneers of keeping those out.
And how about this Bucs defense as a whole? They easily could be down 2 or 3 goals just to start this second half. They have done a fantastic job holding their own and keeping the Hawks away from the net.
Yeah, Evie now with it. She's going to stutter step to her right, try to dive around the crease. Flag is up in the air, and that will be a cross-check called on Caroline Beasley, much to her disagreement. The official explains why. So McMahon to the right here of Mahaffey. As Evie is going to cut in, and she clangs that one off the post. And that will be a foul called on the Hawks. So the Buccaneers will get possession Great opportunity from Evie. She had that jump shot and just sent it right off the crossbar.
This has to be a real boost of confidence for the Buccaneers, seeing that their defense can hold their own against such a good Hawks attack.
Yeah, so now this is number 9 trying to get it up through. And that shot doesn't go, but number 4, Margaret Schiller, is able to keep possession here for the Buccaneers. As this is an exciting game here. Fans definitely get their money's worth. You watching at home, you get to watch for free, so get your money's worth as well. And this NCISAA Girls Lacrosse Championship, the Division I, top-seeded Charlotte Latin Hawks against the 3-seeded Charlotte Country Day Buccaneers. And that's a stick check there. And this will be a free position shot for the Buccaneers. This will be to the right of Collier. And that will be a foul called as Sutton Wilson diving in. So we're going to set up here again. So Sutton here again to the right of Collier. And that one bangs off the crossbar as Nora White's able to pick it up and get it up to Reese Morgan. Peyton, that might be the 4th or 5th shot we've seen today on both sides that have went off the post.
Yeah, and the Hawks are definitely not going to complain about that because they're going to take that bounce and they're going to move it right up into their attack. And now a chance for them to strike first here in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. So now Addie Barlow from behind slides this over to Morgan. Morgan now with it as she goes up top to Arden Henry. Arden now trying to dive into her right, takes in a far shot, but that will stay here with the Hawks. 6 minutes to go here in this third quarter. No score yet here in the second half. Barlow over to Evie. Over to Reese. Evie now trying to get a little bit of space. She goes back to her left, tries to put it on her left hand. The flag is up. So that will be another stick foul called, giving Evie McMahon a free position shot to the right of Mahaffey. And Evie McMahon hitting the back of the net. She wasn't going to hit the crossbar twice as she gets the hat trick. And number 3, Evie McMahon, gets the Hawks on the board here in the first half.
And Evie McMahon with a hat trick. You saw there on that free position shot. She does a fantastic job. She starts on that left side, goes straight, and then starts to veer right. And right as she's out of the range of the goal, she just lets one go and sneaks it in there along that right side and puts the Hawks up 8-7 with 5:16 left in the third quarter.
So now Arden Henry, Grayson Ann McCurdy in this draw control circle. Cloudy, hot, and humid day here on the turf here at Charlotte Latin campus, but a fantastic crowd for both teams out here. As you're seeing 8-7 now in favor of the Hawks. And a foul will be called on McCurdy, as he'll stop the clock with goggles off at 5:10. So let me reset my scoreboard. And we are now running here. Arden now has that as she's going to step back. Over to Massardo. Massardo now with it. Massardo up top to McNichols. McNichols with a big pass in front. Reese Morgan takes a shot, but she just sends that one wide. So that will now be Barlow. Over to Riley. Riley now here with it. Riley's got Evan Turner on her. She's going to get it over to McNichols. Lydia now with it. Tries to pass in front to Riley. Riley has space, though, and slides it over to Allison. Allison's going to try to dive to her right. Steps back out. Guys, Arden in front. Arden takes a small shot from the undercut. She brought that one down low on her right side, and that threw Mahaffey off a little bit. So Arden Henry getting the goal, making it 9-7.
And obviously, like you mentioned, Mahaffey caught off guard there. When you're someone who's 5'9", obviously the expectation is going to be that you're going to go up top. But Arden Henry reversed his course there, instead decides to go underneath and slip one under, and it goes, finds the bottom of the net, and now the Hawks find themselves in front by 2.
And you said this earlier, Peyton, though, too. It is vitally important for the Hawks to keep their foot on the gas. I know a lot of energy is being expended. It's hot and humid on this turf, but you cannot let up on this Buccaneer offense at all, because they will make sure that they chip away and try to come back and tie this one up.
And the Hawks found that out towards the end of that second quarter when they were up 7-4, started to take their foot off the gas just a little bit, and that allowed the Buccaneers to go in and score 3 straight goals and tie it up to end the second.
Yeah. And one thing that, I haven't really thought about here is one thing that probably plays into the Buccaneers' advantage mentally is they've been in these types of games before in the playoffs. They had a really tough matchup in the semifinals against Providence Day coming in to win. The Hawks semifinal match was a 20-5 win over St. Mary's, and their quarterfinal matchup was a 20-0 win over Ravenscroft. So they haven't really been tested yet here in this NCIS playoffs, and now the Buccaneers are here to really try to give them that test in here in the second half. Riley Milligan's able to get into open space and pick that one up. Riley now really cutting in, and the junior is doing a phenomenal job this game. Well, she's been doing it great all year, but really coming out strong here. 2 goals for her early in this first half, and she's going to slow things down and quarterback it from behind the net as she traditionally does.
Now a chance for the Hawks to get back to their style of lacrosse. Just 3:40 left in this third. Time for them to slow it down, and they can set up anything they so desire in the attack.
Yeah, as long as the ball is in your stick on the offensive side, the Buccaneers can't score. So 2-goal lead, really be sure of the shots that you're taking as that shot attempt stays here with the Hawks. And that's another thing that the Hawks need to make sure of, is that they always have a player behind so that they don't give any tough turnovers to the Buccaneers on a missed shot attempt. As I hear the student section to the right of me cheering on their Hawks. As McMahon comes in, and what a snipe! Evie McMahon from just at the restriction line. I mean, that was a beautiful shot up underneath the crossbar.
And somehow, someway, she's able to get it in between that left and top crossbar. Somehow able to fit it in there just in that top corner. Doesn't hit off the crossbar, but instead hits the back of the net. And that puts the Hawks up by 3 with 2:58 left in the third.
Yeah, any University of Virginia fans watching this one, you see where you're going to get from Evie McMahon next year as she's able to step in. And I've seen her practice that shot 1,000 times. She's out here by herself in the off season or in the evenings after, and that just paid off there as she was able to snipe that one right underneath the crossbar. Not much Mahaffey could have done there to be able to block that one. So 10-7 here now. Again, it's now going to be Blythe back in the face-off or the draw control circle against Arden. And that one is going to be picked up by Arden. And clock will be stopped. A yellow card is going to be given. I'm not sure if it's number 1 or number 12. And it looks like number 12, Katie Blythe, is going to get called for the cross check. So that will be a player up advantage here now. And we're going to restart here with 2:50 to go, to the disagreement of the Buccaneers fans here. Again, a tough job, we always say, though, to our officials. We thank them for their time and effort here. As a high school baseball official, Peyton, I'll tell you that usually if that 50-50 call, I got half the stand yelling at me and half of them Over to Allison and now to Ice. And Allison loses it as she goes into a host of Buccaneers. And that will be a foul called, so McMahon's going to be able to step back up as she tells the group. You can tell with her hand language, she's saying, guys, let's slow down. Let's be patient here. Clock's running with 2 minutes in the third quarter. We have the player advantage. No need to rush anything here. As Ice dives into her right, Caroline Ice tries to take a shot. McNichols is there, though, to grab that one. Gives it back over to Evie, over to Allison, quickly again to Ice. And she is not going to miss twice as number 24, Caroline Ice, hits the back of the net for her first goal here this afternoon.
And there's another goal for the Hawks, this one coming from Caroline Ice as she gets her first in this game, like you just mentioned, showcasing the depth that the Hawks have. So many players you can find in the back of the net. And with 1:45 left in the third, the Hawks find themselves up 4 as they lead 11-7.
So McCurdy now and Arden Henry in that draw control circle. 1:45 here. We'll remind you fans watching, that clock you see on the live stream, that's not official. That's me here with the computer also running it, so do not take my word for it if anything gets close here to it. So now Henry's going to slide this over to Nora. Nora White now up ahead to McNichols. McNichols now. Over to McMahon. McMahon over to Arden. Arden's going to slow things down here. Back over to Evie. Evie. And she gets pushed down by Evelyn. So Evie's going to have the free position shot with the clock running here.
It seems that the Buccaneers are arguing that she simply just tripped and that it was not the Buccaneers' fault for that. But nonetheless, McMahon going to get a chance to put the Hawks up by 5 with inside of a minute left in the third.
Yeah, big opportunity here. She drops it back over to Riley, though. Riley over to Allison. Allison tried to spin with that one. I think she's able to get it back, and a foul will be called, so that will be the Buccaneers' ball, as number 9 now has it. That's Olivia Pat, but a foul will be called, so Pat's going to be able to pick it up here with about 30 seconds remaining. That's over to Mahaffey. Again, I'm going to wait for the clock to start back up as they now go the other way. And now with about 23 seconds remaining, the Buccaneers are going to quickly move in the zone. Grayson and McCurdy now with it. And a save made there. I believe that may be number 402 for Ellie. And her 5th of today. Quick outlet, and Reese Morgan is going to let this clock tick down. Huge save there at the end of the third quarter as the defense go and congratulate her, because that would have been a big turning point, I think, at the end of this third quarter.
Now to start the fourth, it's going to be interesting because we're going to see whether the Bucks come out and they come out into that attack similar to they were at the end of the second when they were really just trying to apply the pressure and they scored 3 quick goals, or we're going to see if the Hawks decide to keep their foot on the gas and ride that all the way to victory.
And I'm sure that's something Coach Williams is telling her girls to say, look, we haven't given anything up yet or haven't won it, so make sure these final 12 minutes is as much energy as you can put. All those off-season workouts, all those sprints you're running in practice comes down to the battle of attrition here in these final 12 minutes.
And when you're seeing this Hawks team, this is a team comprised mostly of seniors, so for a lot of them, this is going to be the last time that they play lacrosse. So they have to give it their all because these will likely be the final 12 minutes that they play.
The NCISAA is proud to celebrate its 50th anniversary throughout the 2023-24 school year. We thank the thousands of students, coaches, administrators, and supporters that have helped make the NCISAA what it is today, and for continuing to support the association's commitment to integrity, sportsmanship, and fair play. Special thank you to our partner, Southland Dairy, for providing a commemorative 50th anniversary bag tag to all student athletes and coaches participating in state championships this year. And now back in here, and Peyton, as you were saying, the seniors, they've been here before. The seniors also, this is an opportunity for them to wrap up 4 championships in their 4 years. And this is going after their 5th straight for Charlotte Latin. I know that's something that they definitely want to leave this legacy here, as that has been their goal all season long. And we'll tell you here, fans, the NCISAA would like to thank the following corporate partners for their support this season. The Dairy Alliance, Takis, Varsity Brands, NC Farm Bureau, Field Turf, Ben & Sports Surfaces, Sornix, Huddle, GoFan, Floor Action, Northwest Designs, Musco Lighting, and Ortho Carolina. We also have to say a special thank you to the NCISAA from Hawks Media Production, allowing us to bring you today's action. Peyton, whenever we got the approval here, I was so excited that you were able to join me here in the booth. It's really been a fun afternoon.
Yeah, and it's great that the rain was able to hold off. We definitely were worried we weren't going to be able to get it in at 11 or at all. Maybe it was going to be pushed back to later in the afternoon, but skies have cleared, and it's beautiful as we're set to begin the 4th and final quarter of action in the NCISAA State Championship Women's Lacrosse game.
Yeah, and Charlotte Latin Athletics calendar is a little busy in the afternoon, as all these fans, I'm sure, are going to travel up Providence Road to PD. And as our girls soccer team will be taking on Providence Day in that state championship game, that game will kick off at 2 o'clock. Unfortunately, Hawks Media Production, we will not be able to bring you that away game, but it will be live streamed. If you go on our website, we do have the link provided there for you, but that will be another fun one here. And again, we are now getting set here for the final 12 minutes of action. That is picked up now by Margaret Schuler. Schuler's going to go into the offensive set as she gets that over to Stein. Ella Stein now is going to work from behind as she gets that back over to Wilson. Sutton Wilson, having 2 goals already today, slides it up top. Over to Burbank, the other 2-goal scorer. Over to Blythe. Buccaneers, they know now how important each possession is going to be with this 4-goal deficit, so making sure that they can try to make a strong push, but Neely Hume was there. Neely did knock it loose, but then a stick foul on the loose ball, so it will go to the Buccaneers. Audrey Neal now here with it, and Neal's going to start heading towards. That one bounces off the post, but Blythe is there to pick up that one. And we will have a foul called. I'm not sure what the foul call there was, that one. So Arden Henry now is going to take the free start and go the other way. So Henry now here with it. Slides this over to Archibald. Allison Archibald over to Morgan. Reese Morgan now. Back to Arden. Arden over to Evie. Again, Hawks here being patient. Over to Ice. And now to Addie. So we got Reese, Allison, Arden, Riley, Ice, and McMahon and Barlow. Hawks moving this around here. Back over to Caroline. Caroline, Blythe on her. Again, the Hawks offense, they're just forcing the defenders to come out to them. They know there's no reason for them to go to goal yet with a 4-goal lead, so make those defenders come and try to play on them.
And what that's doing, it's forcing the Bucks to get called for a lot of fouls. Obviously, being down 4, they have no choice but to take those risks, but it's not really going in their favor. They're being called for a lot of fouls in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, Reese Morgan now finds Allison in front. Allison turns and shoots. That's another save made there by Mahaffey, as Mahaffey was able to keep that. Unofficially, I believe I have her with 6. Grace Mahaffey I was watching a lot of that PD game, Peyton, and she had a phenomenal game there against the Chargers to hold them at bay, and she's made a number of key saves here against our Hawks.
Obviously, she's allowed 11 goals, but she has not gotten credit for a lot of the work she's done. She's made so many fantastic saves, and she's definitely kept the Buccaneers in this game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So an outlet up top here to Beasley, and Caroline Beasley now has it. She's one of the senior captains. Beasley now here with it. She slides that over to Audrey Neal. Neal now over to Schuer. Margaret Schuer trying to dive in. Drops it back behind. Over to Wilson. Wilson back to Schuer. Margaret now with it. She's going to try to come around from the right-hand side in front. A foul will be called on Nora White on that push as Nora White tried to crash down. So Margaret Schuer here now, free position shot. This will be directly in front of Collier. And that shot attempt goes up high as both Schuer and Natalie Massardo. And clock will ask to be stopped at 7:50 here. So that will put Schuer again. Free position shot to the right of Collier. Schuer now steps in. She's going to try to take a shot. That goes wide of goal. And a stick foul will be called on Livingston. So now Stein now with it. Livingston will have to move behind. Gets us over to Burbank. Molly Burbank now coming across. And a big save made there by Collier. But the rebound's going to go to the Buccaneers. Grayson Ann McCurdy now with it. So clock will ask to be stopped again. And that shot attempt hits off the side of the cage, but Ella Stein's going to be able to get the rebound. Stein now will have it. Stein's going to try to come across, and another save made there by Ellie Collier. And Nora White is able to get that rebound.
What a job by Ellie Collier in her final 12 minutes as a Hawk, holding her own in between the pipes, and she has still not allowed the Buccaneers to score in this second half.
Yeah, the Rollins College commit, and a save made there as we're just talking about a battle of the goaltenders here as Mahaffey responds there with a big save. You know, Peyton, you and I at pregame talked a lot about the offense, okay? But these two goaltenders, Grace Mahaffey and Ellie Collier,
they've definitely held their own in between the pipes, and you said before the game that it was going to come to who would win those draw controls, and I think right behind that would be who would win this goalie battle. And it's been such a great and highly contested battle between Mahaffey and Collier. Collier seeming to do just a little bit more in this one as her Hawks lead it by 4.
Katie Blythe now with it. They're going to drop it back behind. Over to Stein. Stein in front. And that is a goal there by number 5. Sutton Wilson getting her third goal of the game. Again, number 5, Sutton Wilson.
Bucks goal, number 5, Sutton Wilson.
So the Buccaneers trying to emulate what they did at the end of that second quarter when they just started to find life on the attack and started to tack on a couple of late goals to tie it up at 7 apiece. And now they're going to try and knot this one up at 11 apiece at the bottom of the 4th.
When the game ends, that's probably a good time to take it. It'll probably take about 15 minutes after the game ends. If you can, no big deal. I can zoom out for it. Okay, so 6-11 here. 11-8. And Evie McMahon picks up that one. Fights off a couple cross checks. To the displeasure of the Country Today fans. Foul called there, so McMahon's going to have that one. Evie now keeps it on her stick, and she's going to move into the zone. Big win there for the Hawks. And Evie's going to stay out on the far corner. Again, make them come and chase her with a 3-goal lead here and 5.5 to go. Again, fans, regardless of the result, stick around for our trophy presentation to both the runner-up and champion. McMahon doing a great job there of keeping it on her stick as she's going to go behind the net. Underhand flips it over to Riley. And Riley over to Reese. Reese now back to Riley. And again, we talk about this is going to be that battle of attrition here. So Riley now with it. As Reese now up top. Over to McNichols. Over to Allison. Peyton, it's a little bit different for me. I spent 15 years up in D.C. for the lacrosse up there. The last few years they played with a shot clock, and that really made things different on the side. Timeout will be called, so clock will be stopped with 3:51 here remaining in this contest. Coach Williams calling a timeout. I'm sure just to kind of let the girls catch their breath. All right, and settle in. Again, fans, you are watching a fantastic one here today. We want to thank you for tuning in. Again, this is Hawks Media Production Broadcast. I am Joe Teets here with Peyton Yaus. Peyton was part of our group 2 years ago, graduated from Latin last year, and now he's studying sports broadcasting up at High Point University. So, Peyton, like I said, I love how on your summer break able to join me down here, and I love hearing all the good things. Got to watch you on ESPN this year doing some lacrosse and soccer, and I love having you back here in the booth for the Hawks in this championship game.
Yeah, I remember being in this exact spot about a year ago when the Hawks defeated, I want to say it was the Chargers from Providence Day, and they were able to go and get their 4th straight state championship, and now I'm back a year later as the Hawks go for their 5th straight championship. The women's lacrosse team does. And it's just a great atmosphere in these final 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Hopefully the Hawks can prevail and get that 5th straight state championship.
Yeah, it's been a fun one here this afternoon. You've seen some great lacrosse back, as we were to be expected. These are 2 phenomenal teams in the state going after that, and they really have always had some tension, games during the regular season and here. And like I said, it is a fun one that we're watching. Again, hopefully the Hawks can get 2 today. As we talked about, they have this game today, and then the girls soccer team will travel up to PD to go after a girls soccer championship, but it is a fun one. We also need to say a big thank you to Flo Roper, as she is doing all the camera work, kind of a thankless job. No one sees or hears you except for the fantastic goal announcing that she's doing. I know the girls lacrosse team, whenever Flo started doing it, they loved the way she brought that British accent into the goal announcing, and she's doing some phenomenal camera work here today, so thank you to Flo. As like I said, it is a fantastic atmosphere out here for this game. We're breaking from the timeout. Again, fans, those of you maybe middle schoolers or lower schoolers looking to come to Charlotte Latin in the upper school, you'll have an opportunity to join us here. As I said with Peyton kind of just joined this student interest group his junior year, and then after 2 years of having a lot of fun here with the Hawks, he decided to study it up at High Point University and already broadcasting on ESPN and radio broadcast. So, and again, great having him back here on campus for this game. Riley Milligan now with it. She's able to split a double team over to Archibald. Allison Archibald quickly gets that over to Evie. Evie now is going to try to have time and space. She's going to try to draw a defender on her as she jukes back and forth, and she toes that end line and stops. Over to Arden. Arden back over to Lydia. Lydia over to Riley. Over to Reese. And again, I'm sure it's what Coach Williams said during the timeout. Look, we have no reason to go to goal. We have a 3-goal lead here with 3 minutes to play. You make the Buccaneers come out and get a turnover defensively.
And you mentioned it, the shot clock. Obviously, that not being in place here, so the Hawks, they have the ability to just pass it around, and they can hold it out until that final buzzer sounds.
Yeah, and that was an opportunity. I think Lydia McNichols, maybe about 5 game minutes ago, she probably would have took that shot as she was cutting in, cross it right in front of the crease. So didn't need to. She made a smart play, I believe, in my amateur lacrosse coaching brain, to just keep this out and slide it back over. McMahon now with it. Evie now. As she steps back over to Lydia. McNichols now with it. McNichols back to Evie. Evie now. Back over to Lydia. Lydia, cross pass over to Addie. And the girls are doing a phenomenal job when you're not on the ball of getting into open space and creating some nice windows to be able to pass. Milligan now with it. Over to Arden. Arden over to Allison. We're in the last 2 minutes, so the clock will stop on anything in the critical shooting space. But the Hawks faithful getting a little fired up here. So that will be a foul called away from the ball. So clock is going to be running with about 90 seconds remaining. Over to Archibald. Archibald over to Reese. That pass doesn't go. And it is picked up, though, by the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are going to go the other way. That's Ella Stein. Or excuse me, that's number 18, Beasley. Caroline Beasley now here with it. Beasley's going to quickly try to go to goal. As you know, the Buccaneers are down by 3. But a nice play there by Massardo. Massardo is able to get that up to Barlow as the Furman commit has done a phenomenal job. Over to McMahon and the McNichols. 45 seconds here now and running. And that will be McNichols now at the free start. Over to Riley. And clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining here. So Lydia McNichols now is going to stop. Send this over to Riley. Riley now pushing this around. That's over to Reese. Back to Riley. And 20 seconds. We see what's about to happen here, folks. Back over to McNichols. Peyton always tells her broadcaster, we don't announce anything till we hear the final buzzer. But Riley taking this here in the final 5 seconds. And that is going to be the buzzer as your Hawks are victorious 11-8 in a fantastic NCISAA Girls Lacrosse Championship.
And how about this group? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5-time back-to-back state champions. The Charlotte Latin Hawks are. And what a fantastic way to go out for this team, especially with the 7 seniors, Evie McMahon, Arden Henry, Lydia McNichols, Addie Barlow, Neely Hume, Natalie Massardo, and in goal, Ellie Collier. Such a fantastic group, and what a way to end it as they win their 5th straight state championship.
And so much energy expanded there. You saw two fantastic teams just really giving it their all here in that state championship. As we even see now on the turf, Ellie Collier cramping up during the celebration. She has played absolutely phenomenal today. We talked about, kind of all of our seniors. Evie McMahon, you said 4 goals. Arden Henry with 2. Riley Milligan with 2. Reese Morgan with 1. Allison Archibald with 1. And Caroline Ice with the 11th. And let's also talk about Natalie Massardo on the defensive side, doing a phenomenal job. What a fantastic, absolutely fantastic game. And we can be a little bit biased. So thrilled that the Hawks were able to come out on top.
Yeah, and for the Rollins commit to end her Hawks tenure just like that, holding the Buccaneers to only 1 goal in that second. What a way to finish, and just a fantastic job, not from her, but from the entirety of this team. They did such a fantastic job to prevail and win this one 11-8 and get their 5th straight state championship.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Look, if you want, you can go down there. Go down there and celebrate with them.
Why?
Because they love you.
They love you. Do they? They do. Trust me.
Go tell Reese yourself. So fans, stick around as we're going to set up for the trophy presentation here. And again, fans, we want to thank you for tuning in. Peyton, I hope this isn't the last time we get to work together. You are always welcome back in this booth. That was a phenomenal game. And like I said, I tell other people, and I hope you really understand, is I absolutely love having you here in the booth. You're going to be welcome back anytime. I know you're going to be going big time, so make sure whenever you give that Hall of Fame broadcasting speech here in about 40 years that you remember me. But that was a blast here this afternoon here with you.
Yeah, and I can't thank you enough for allowing me back here. What a pleasure it is to be back and call 2 games in 1 week. Obviously got to call the women's soccer game last Saturday, now this Saturday, getting to call this Hawks victory, this time a state championship victory, and what a way to end this Hawks season.
Yeah, absolutely. So fans, we're going to set things up here for the trophy presentation, and you will hear me speaking for a bit. For Peyton, let's send this off with you, saying thank you again. And it was an absolute pleasure. So stick around, fans, as we will come back here for our trophy presentation. So again, fans, we're getting set here for our trophy presentation. Stick around as we are getting set up to that. We can have both teams come down to the front of the field towards the press box on each side of the table for our trophy presentation. Again, if we can ask both teams to please come to near the press box on each side of the table for our trophy presentations. Again, we ask both full rosters from both teams, please come up towards the table. And again, fans, as they are doing that, let's give a big round of applause to both teams for a fantastic championship game. Congratulations to both teams on an outstanding season and a well-played championship game. So first, what's that?
Like the straps, but they don't have the medals, I guess.
I was waiting for the coaches, maybe.
He's like holding them. He's got like the straps. But I don't think he
There
has
it is,
the
hand.
medals. Are you going to the next game?
Okay, fans, first, for your state runner-up team, the Charlotte Country Day Buccaneers. Finished their season today with a record of 14-8. So let's congratulate each individual team member prior to awarding the trophy. Number 1, Grayson Ann McCurdy. Number 2, Audrey Neal. Number 3, Wynn McDade. Number 4, Margaret Schiller. Number 5, Sutton Wilson. Number 6, Mia Leokukos. Number 7, Zoe Timberman. Number 8, Molly Burbank. Number 9, Olivia Peck. Number 10, Abigail Bateman. Number 11, Hadley Keller. Number 12, Katie Blythe. Number 13, Reese Stanfield. Number 14, Reed Petty. Number 15, Alice Stein. Number 16, Frances McBride. Number 17, Hannah Hosmer. Number 18, Caroline Beasley. Number 20, Harper White. Number 21, Evelyn Turner. Number 22, Drake Randall. Number 24, Katie Pylon. Number 26, Julia Mazine. Number 28, Lexi Stein. Number 29, Abby Zimmern. And number 30, Grace Mahaffey. Congratulations to the Charlotte Country Day Buccaneers. Captains from the Buccaneers, please come up to receive your runner-up trophy. And now, let's congratulate the NCISAA Girls Lacrosse Division I State Champion, your Charlotte Latin Hawks. Team finished with a record of 15-3, so let's recognize each individual member for their outstanding contributions this season. Number 3, Evie McMahon. Number 4, Gabby Turner. Number 5, Kingsley Hall. Number 6, Christiana Lambos. Number 7, Marion DeBose. Number 8, Arden Henry. Number 10, Reese Morgan. Number 11, Allison Archibald. Number 12, Riley Milligan. Number 13, Emma Wilson. Number 14, Lydia McNichols. Number 15, Addie Barlow. Number 16, Neely Hume. Number 17, Ellen Chapman. Number 18, Nora White. Number 21, Kate Livingston. Number 22, Ayana West. Number 24, Caroline Ice. Number 26, Natalie Massardo. Number 33, Ellie Collier. Number 44, Morgan McLaughlin. And Hawks Senior Student Manager, Sloan Wooster. And the final presentation, captains, please come forward to receive the 2024 NCISAA State Championship Trophy. And again, fans, let's have one big last round of applause for all the players and coaches from these two outstanding programs. I want to thank everyone for attending the 2024 NCISAA Girls Lacrosse State Championship, and have a great afternoon.